Hello, Megyn. How are you?
Hello, my friend. I'm great. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Anxious to be with you. What is it? Next Saturday, we're going to be together here in Texas?
Fort Worth, baby. Let's do this thing.
Could you get a bigger arena? Have you ever been to the Dickies Arena?
No, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. But we're going to be together, and tickets are still available, and grab your tickets now. I would like to know a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to be making a pretty big announcement, breaking some news with you because you're a journalist and everybody goes to you for these things. But I'm going to be breaking some big news, and then what else? I'm only asking this because I just got off, one of the shows for Charlie Kirk, and the audience kind of threw me for a loop. I was answering questions I've never even pondered before, Megyn.
Well, I mean, I think we're going to be doing some Q&A with the audience, too. And I'm looking forward to that because I think what I've been hearing from a lot of folks commenting on our, just on our social media feeds is they'd love to interact. And so I thought maybe we'll kick it off with just Q&A and have people have their say, and then we can do our interview and all that. But, my goal overall is just to make it a good time. I think people, if you're going to go out on a Saturday night, you want to have fun. You want to keep it upbeat. There's so much to make fun of.
Well, I'm good at that. I'm with you on that. I'd be there all day long on that.
And it's like with this administration, which has a very healthy sense of humor, and the bizarre attacks going. I mean, did you just see the Bradley Whitford thing on The View just yesterday saying there are internment camps going on right now in the United States? Are there really?
What?
Bradley? He played a political hack on the West Wing, and now ever since he's kind of like Yul Brynner in The King and I. Remember how he got deluded and really started acting like the king? He thought he really was one. That's what's happened to Bradley Whitford. Martin Sheen, for that matter, too, who played the president in that same series. Yeah. And now they both have gone so hardcore left and think all the worst rumors that you hear from your great-great-granddad on, the Facebook are true. Internment camps across the United States, where? Where specifically, Bradley? Walk me through it.
Can you help me out on Ketanji Brown Jackson yesterday? I think she said that blacks are mentally handicapped or maybe physically handicapped. I don't know, but she compared the Voting Rights Act with the ADA. What kind of how low can they go in insulting black Americans before black Americans are like, okay, come on?
No, it was unbelievable. If one of the white justices had said that, it would be on the cover of every magazine and the top of every newspaper. The fact that she's black and I guess a woman, they give her a pass. But she actually tried to say that we need ongoing scrutiny of all voting schemes in America because blacks are like people with disabilities, with basically no rights. Because she was saying when we passed the American with Disabilities Act, we had no requirements that buildings be handicap accessible. And that's basically the position of blacks in America in 2025.
But what?
No rights such that there must be a national mandate requiring them.
How do you build a building so it's black accessible? Because I think they already are. What kind of special ramps are needed to be built here? I don't understand.
Do our black friends know that they can't just walk right into the buildings? I'm not sure they're aware of this fact. Or is it just Ketanji? How does she walk into the U.S. Supreme Court to make the point that blacks are not equal and are basically permanently disabled as she puts on her robe to take one of 9 seats?
Just crazy on that. And then, we have the shutdown, which is completely bizarre, the way the Democrats are trying to do this. And I think they're holding it closed now because of the No Kings rally. They want the big No Kings thing. Is that violent or how's that going to turn out this weekend?
Did you see the Trump tweet saying, "I'm so relieved. Thank you so much to the No Kings crowd. I thought somebody was trying to become king, but thanks to you, I remain the president." I appreciate it. He's the master troller.
He is so funny.
They did this in June with almost the same numbers. And nothing happened. No one cared. Didn't really get a lot of press. And that's exactly what's going to happen this time. One thing I did find interesting, though, about the No Kings media promo they're doing, one of the groups that's helping is the Human Rights Campaign. And this, of course, is an LGBTQ group, pride group. It used to be more about gay rights, and now it's gone completely trans. And this is the group that gives everybody their score. They're like,
oh yeah,
DEI score, all the
that's
corporate America.
right.
I mean, the mask is totally off. You're actively out there protesting against the president, and we're still going to have anyone in corporate America pretend that you are just this impartial arbiter that's worried about a civil rights issue as you're out there marching against the sitting president with people like Bradley Whitford, who are claiming internment camps. I mean, the mask is completely off. They've already been defanged thanks to Trump and, his active pushes through executive orders and otherwise against this DEI agenda. But that's who's going to be out there, the Move On crew.
How long does this have to go on? How long does this go on? How long do we need the government and control of the government before it's crushed? The spirit of it is crushed. I know people will always believe some of this crazy stuff, but the whole delusion that we were all living under for a long time, it seems to be over, or at least dying.
Oh, yeah.
How long before it's dead?
We need 2 terms of J.D. Vance post-Trump.
That's exactly what Trump said.
Yeah, we can't, like, as much of a miracle worker as Trump is, he can't get it done in 4 years. And we've learned from him how to do it and that it's working. I mean, just yesterday there was a headline about the yet another hospital, this one in Boston, shutting down the puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for anyone under age 19 because Trump is defunding these hospitals that continue to provide that. I mean, it's amazing. He did that via executive order. So, going 3 years without those so-called services is great. But if you go an extra 8 on top of that without them doing this, and then we see the difference in our youth who are growing out of their gender dysphoria, this is just one example, the case will be so much stronger for never bringing this barbarism back again. And same with DEI. That's dying a fast death. Every day you open the paper and you see more stories, sob stories on the left, about yet another DEI program that's been eliminated. And now these people have nothing to do with their useless degree that they got from Brown University or NYU or Harvard. And so if we have, another, let's say, 3 plus 8, when we go 11 years without people getting hired for these roles, the programs get eliminated at the universities. No one wants to major in something that's not saleable after the fact. So it does take time. And Trump has gotten us a jump start on it all. But, yeah, it could be undone if we lose in 28.
Megyn, I think you're referring to the numbers we were just kind of discussing, that there does seem to be a fall off, a decrease since 2023 of people who are identifying as, LGBTQIA2+. Is this a sign that it was a social contagion? And do you think the drop off is real or just a temporary thing?
Well, first, I think we have to give a shout out to Justin Trudeau for leading the way and dating Katy Perry and abandoning his earlier obvious confusion.
Yeah, that lesbian love that he's got. I didn't know that he was a lesbian.
Exactly. But I mean, honestly, I can't think of a man on earth I'd rather sleep with less than Justin Trudeau. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm with you on that, and Katy Perry too. I mean, Katy Perry's not somebody. Yes. No, thank you.
I mean, obviously, she's the dominant one in that relationship. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was great news. But when I read that report, Stu, I was so, encouraged, of course, because I love to see those numbers fall. I mean, it's just absolutely awful what we've been doing to children.
Yes.
But I also feel so sad for the ones who got sucked in. I got sucked into trends where we wore forensic V-neck sweaters and long pearls that we tied in a knot. These kids are getting sucked into trends where they're having double mastectomies or huge portions of their forearm cut out and tried to be built into a fake phallus. And they will never have sexual enjoyment, never have sexual function. They will live the rest of their lives deformed and obviously manipulated hormonally to where you can tell what they've done with the voice and so on. And I just can't imagine. Like, they'll be sterile. The vast majority of them are sterile. They'll never have children. These girls will never breastfeed their babies if they ever wind up having them, if they, overcome the odds. So it's like, great. Well done, Democrats and barbaric doctors and hospitals. You got a bunch of money. You worked out your woke bona fides on a bunch of 15-year-olds who will now have to walk around with the scars of your practice. You decided to practice on them for the rest of their lives. It's like the only solution here is massive lawsuits, huge, devastating lawsuits against the people who did this.
I have to tell you, I'm watching Canada, what's happening with MAID up in Canada, and it's becoming barbaric up there. I mean, we are probably 5 more years of, full sprint out the way we were going, maximum 10 before we were in really, really scary, 1930s kind of territory. I think there's going to come a time where people, hopefully, that the history books will, we'll see these shows where all of these transgender people and everything else, and it was all this woke stuff. This time period is going to just be this weird time capsule that people hopefully will look back and go, what the hell happened to society? What were people thinking?
You're so right, Glenn, because do you remember like 10 years ago, sometimes people would ask that question, what will we look back at that we're doing now in the way we look back at lobotomizing people and say, gosh, that was horrible. And the conventional wisdom 10, 15, 20 years ago was the way we treat animals, like the slaughter of animals for human consumption.
Yeah.
Boy, has that changed. I mean, in just a short amount of time, it's switched to the mutilation of healthy children. For what? Truly, what? At the hands of their own parents who are working out their mental issues on their children. It's like, and maybe they don't know because the left doesn't tell them. You don't read about this in the New York Times, that 90+% of these children will grow out of any gender confusion.
But you have every doctor that you would
let them hit puberty.
You have every doctor that you would go to saying you are going to kill your child if you don't. And there's a lot of people that are just, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
No, and on top of that, so the same doctors are saying your child's going to kill himself unless you let them do this. And then you seek out a doctor just for your child to have individual consultations with. And they're being told by all the medical societies, the only proper standard is to affirm. You may not explore any other mental issue with a child claiming gender confusion. So these psychiatrists and psychologists have their hands tied now by their licensing organizations. We just had a case go up to the Supreme Court last week out of Colorado where they tried to actually pass a law. They did pass a law saying you may not say anything other than affirm. I affirm, I affirm. In fact, we're making it now a violation of law for you to try to explore whether the kid really is gender confused. You just have to affirm his delusion or you committed, quote, conversion therapy on him. That law is going to get struck down. It actually could be a 9-0 ruling. But I mean, that's how crazy we've gotten and are still crazy. So I think you mentioned this, Glenn. In the past 5 years, we lost our minds on race and gender. I think the tide has turned more dramatically on race than it has on the gender mania still. And that Colorado law is just one example of that. But it's happening. I mean, I feel heartened that it's happening.
I do too. Megyn, thank you so much. Megyn and I are going to be together at the Dickies Arena on next Saturday, the 25th of October. You can get tickets at megynkelly.com. I can't wait to take the audience questions. I can't
wait for you to unveil the big announcement. I'm excited for this.
Okay, good. Well, we'll talk next Saturday. Thanks a lot, Megyn. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
You bet. Get your tickets now at megynkelly.com, megynkelly.com.